the people around you want your success and they want you to be in the best position possible for that success. Getting to lean on and rely on the people around you to like help out a bit. Like it doesn't have to be in an individual battle. People are more willing and happy to help than maybe you think they are. So.
And what's the first step in doing that?
Talking about it.
Yeah! Hey, I'm Greg Grunberg, and welcome to Talk About It, the podcast where we focus on topics that everybody should be talking about, and hopefully they will, or not only talking about, but screaming about.
Epilepsy shouldn't keep you from doing anything that you want to do.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
This season, we are going to continue to talk about living with epilepsy, like my son and millions of Americans who do. We're also going to be looking at other related conditions and causes. Our goal is to knock down, drag out, eliminate stigma, and raise awareness. Oh, and hopefully have a laugh or two along the way. Each of our episodes will feature amazing advocates and champions. We will learn together how to make a real difference in our own lives and in the lives of our communities.
Talking about it is important. It's all about connecting.
Talk about it.
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 Talk about it. Thank you for talking about it.
Thank you for talking about it.
New season, new look, new sponsor. Thank you to Neurelis and everyone at Neurelis for sponsoring Talk About It. Talk About It is also sponsored by Jazz Pharmaceuticals. Thank you, Jazz, for always being there for us. All right, let's jump right into this episode of Talk About It. The roar of the crowd. Welcome, sports fans, to this episode of Talk About It. Welcome to all of you incredible people. I love you. We love you. We're so thankful for you. First of all, happy Thanksgiving. This has been a hell of a year, and it's going to be such a great 2026. But before the year ends, we have a couple more episodes for you. This one being a very special one. Sports fans indeed. College sports fans. Let's talk about what it's like to be a college athlete. I'm the father of 2 college baseball players, and I know the pressure that college sports can bring to an athlete. Not only are you a full-time athlete, like a professional traveling from school to school, you also have schoolwork and the socialization, and on top of that, you have to play ball. Like you have all of that. The schoolwork, the social, and the sports can add to a lot of stress, and those can be triggers for people, especially if they have epilepsy. And guess what? Our guest today is mastering all of it, thriving. Peyton Dejardin. She plays for UC Berkeley. She is on their volleyball team, and she's amazing.
It's Dejardin. That's down.
Dejardin gets there.
Dejardin, soft touch. Nobody home.
Dejardin, yes, that's it. The Cow Bears take their home opener.
She is such an example of a college athlete doing it right and someone with epilepsy who is not afraid to talk about it. It's inspiring, it's incredibly wonderful, and a great way to spend Thanksgiving listening to this episode of Talk About It. Anytime I can have somebody that I admire that is out there doing what they love to do and not letting epilepsy or seizures or any, living a great life. This is the example that we want to set. My son is an example, and so is our guest. Peyton, thank you so much.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, so happy to have you. You inspire me. You inspire so many people. So you've been a D1 athlete for, is this your senior year? Where are you?
Yes. I only have 3 weeks left.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been fun.
But take me back, because, I really mean it. Congratulations on being a D1 athlete. Forget epilepsy or not. This is huge. You're at a major school, major volleyball program. Have you been playing volleyball your whole life?
Yeah, so I have an older sister, and she started playing when she was probably 10. So I was 6. And I went to all of her games and everything, and I just wanted to be exactly like her. So I picked up a volleyball, and I played for, school, rec leagues and everything.
Travel teams?
And then I started playing for club teams when I was 10. So it's been a while.
Wow. And then when did you surpass your sister and be a much better volleyball player than her? Because this is what happens with younger, siblings.
She's only 5'8", so I'm 6 foot, so I have a few inches on her. So I had a little bit more of an like ability just with the height difference. But she was always an absolute stud. So she was a phenomenal volleyball player.
That's
she
awesome.
ended up playing at Yale.
Wow.
Now she's done.
So you're coming up. You're into volleyball. You're following in your sister's footsteps. Your parents are driving you guys all over. How much older is she than you?
So she's 4 years older, and then I have another sister who's 2 years older, and then I have a twin brother who played basketball. He's playing basketball at Carnegie Mellon right now.
Shout out Pittsburgh.
Shout
Yeah.
out.
That's my hometown.
And are your parents athletes as well?
Yeah. So my dad played baseball at Cal. So that was, I've grown up being a Bear, so I absolutely loved it.
So you're clearly his favorite now.
Yeah, exactly.
He loves any excuse to get to come up and tell me, oh, this was actually different when I was here. I'm like, it has been a few years since you were a student here. But
and where did you grow up?
I'm from like San Gabriel.
Okay.
Southern California.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's another thing that people that are listening or watching this need to know. Like the pool of players in Southern California, it's unbelievable in all sports, but volleyball especially. It's crazy. I mean, this is St. John Smith and Karch Karai. This is like the beach volleyball mecca. This is where everybody comes from. What other? I mean, would you say Florida? Like
I would say like Texas is probably the other like huge. There's like so many volleyball clubs there. I mean, it changes. Like on the Midwest is kind of grown in the volleyball, and especially since like Nebraska has been huge for college volleyball. I think in the area they've kind of grown their club scene.
Right, and you're in the Big Ten, right?
So we just switched to the ACC. We were in the Pac-12.
Oh, that's
we
right.
switched to the ACC.
Right.
So.
Totally makes sense for Cal to be in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
It does. It's all dollars and cents. And you're obviously NIL athlete, and can somebody buy your uniform with your name on the back and all that stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I think our volleyball program probably isn't as, lucrative with like the NIL stuff as other schools.
Yeah.
And frankly, like I think volleyball isn't as far ahead in the NIL landscape as like basketball and football. So it's getting there, but
right. Right, but not everybody's a superstar like you, and here's why you're a superstar in our community to who we are. So I don't know if you know, but my oldest son Jake has epilepsy, right? And he's a second-degree Taekwondo black belt, and like he doesn't let anything stop him, from doing what he wants to do in his life. But along the way, he has had to just be cautious and adjust and here and there. So now we know your volleyball story. Take us through and tell me. Like your epilepsy journey. Were you born with it? Did it come on when you were 7, like my son? Like what happened?
So actually, I wasn't born with it. When I was in the 3rd grade, just randomly one day, I started like waving my hand over my eyes, and it was in the sun. Didn't obviously know what it was, and I was too young to like be able to verbalize. Like I can't see, I can't hear what's going on. Like. Wow. I am like absent in the moment.
So wait, you would fall into a seizure? What do you mean you would put your hand in front of your face?
So I still, and I don't honestly know that much information about this type of epilepsy because I will get to it, but I like somehow switched the type of epilepsy I had at a certain point. But I originally had a type called like sunflower syndrome or self-induced photosensitive epilepsy. So I didn't have any control over it, but my right hand, like it would be it was originally diagnosed as a tic. They thought it was a sort of tic, but it was triggered by the sunlight, and I couldn't see or hear anything. And it'd be short, but I wouldn't be present.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's super confusing, obviously, especially as a kid, because I couldn't explain really what was going on well, and no one really understood why I was suddenly like waving my hand over my face.
I just want to say we learn constantly that it's the brain, everybody. I mean, like there are so many different types and so many different, forms that a seizure can take. So just, look it up. Well, we constantly talk about it here, but this is interesting. Like that we had a guy who wrote a book, Michael King, and he had a thing where he would stand up and start cheering.
Yeah, and he was
clapping.
whooping.
Yeah, whooping, like woo!
Yeah.
That was his seizure.
And he had no. So did you have any recollection when that was? You don't remember? Did you black out when that was happening?
I wouldn't be aware when it was happening, but I would like stop in my place and it would like I would have my seizures, and then when they'd stop, I would like my eyes would hurt, my head would hurt. So like
Wow.
I like knew after the fact that it was going on, but I wouldn't know like in the moment, or like sometimes like someone would like say my name, and like that's kind of how like I like knew that I was like, oh, like I'm doing it again. But
Right.
of course at that point I wasn't diagnosed. It was diagnosed as a tic, so I didn't know what it was.
Interesting.
And that was, I had that type of seizures for like 5 years, but then my sister got her learner's permit to drive, and I like had spent my whole life just like looking forward to getting my driver's license, and I was like, I know I can't drive if like I have this tic going on. So I like would wear a hat, sunglasses, like lock my hand in my pocket for like months straight, because I was told that 21 days can break a habit. So
Wow.
I did that, and like for about 2 months after that, I was seizure free. And then eventually one day I just started having seizures again, but it was just my eyelids fluttering. So that was where it kind of turned into Jeavons syndrome, which is what I currently have.
Okay, can you pronounce that again? What is it?
Jeavons syndrome.
Jeavons syndrome. Okay, interesting. We're learning every time we talk to somebody. It's a different syndrome. It's different. That's interesting. Okay, is that rare, Jeavon?
I think with both of those conditions, they were like, there's no research on it really. When I was like, we were trying to figure out what it was throughout over the 12 years that I've had epilepsy. More research has come out on both of those conditions, but at the moment, like it was not very researched, not really well understood.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it is a pretty rare form.
And then you were diagnosed with Jeavons, and then you were put on a medication. What was the treatment?
So I actually wasn't diagnosed for another 4 years. So I got my driver's license in my sophomore year of high school. I continued to I was having probably upwards of 100 seizures a day, but because they're so short, I was pretty able to like, be normal. I would just have a lot of kind of lapses in my day of. Okay,
wait. So let's talk about that, because this is so relatable. I mean, I can't even tell you. You're literally describing my son's journey. So when you were in school, you were in class, because the teacher would be like, yeah, I mean, I talked to Jake about something, and then Jake described it as when he was really, really young, they would be talking about a tiger, and then all of a sudden they'd be talking about an elephant. And he'd be like, how do we get from here to here? Like, is that, you struggle with that?
Absolutely. But I was definitely in a more of like if I don't show that I'm confused, they won't know, so it's fine, and I'll just fill in the holes myself. So.
Right. And you're how old at this point? 11?
So that was like throughout high school. So, well, and really, I mean, it was the same throughout like third grade to high school. Really, it was. I didn't get diagnosed until I was a senior in high school with epilepsy. I didn't take my first EEG until my senior year. So
how did it affect you as an athlete?
So fortunately, like because like indoors, I'm in a gym, and my main trigger is really like sunlight or like really bright fluorescent lights. Like I didn't have that many issues with it. And usually when I'm like really, really focused, it wouldn't be much of an issue. Like I could kind of like focus my way out of having seizures. It was more of like when I'm pretty tired and like my brain is kind of feeling slower.
Yeah, those are triggers. So, I mean, those, were you napping? Were you conscious that, were you doing things in your daily life to like go, okay, I need to get enough sleep, or, go to sleep early? I mean, you're in high school, dude.
Well, yeah.
I mean, my son, it's the same thing. He's got these buddies. They're going out, they're drinking, they're doing this and that. How did you handle like your friend group? Did they understand? Did you talk about it?
Well, once again, like not really, because I didn't know at that point that like I knew that it was like, or at least I thought that it was epilepsy from the research I had done, but I had never gotten diagnosed, and I hadn't had treatment for it formally. So I was like, I know that there's certain things that will make me feel worse, but because I had always pretty much lived with it at that point, I never really gave it too much weight, which probably looking back on it, I probably could have done more to help myself.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really until I had gotten diagnosed that I was kind of like, okay, like this is an issue that I should probably address and like I can do more things to put myself in a better position.
Yeah.
And that was kind of in the transition to college. So it was a lot going on at that point, but
you're also getting recruited.
yes. Well, so I committed my freshman year of high school before they changed the rules. So at that point, I knew that I was going to school. I had kind of figured that out. So that was a big relief.
Change the rules. What do you mean? What rules did they change?
Now you can't talk to coaches or like be in contact before I think your junior year or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, recruiting
and
rules.
so
Sorry.
so if people are listening to this, the way they get around that is they go, all right, we're gonna send out a camp. An email about a camp, and then you can call us. Because if you call them, then you can talk to them. Or if you go to a camp, I mean, they get around it. They get around it the best they can. If they see someone like Peyton, you went through this. I mean, it's like if they see someone like Peyton.
They didn't want me that bad.
They didn't want you that bad? Yeah.
I never got a camp email.
But it's hard. I'm just thinking, so COVID, people were 5th years, they're 6 years, they opened up the portal. Like, was it harder for you to go through your recruitment than it was for your sister or for, other friends that were a little bit ahead of you?
I think for people in my year, it was definitely difficult. But so I committed April of my freshman year of high school, and they changed it in May.
Oh, yeah. So you were all set. You were one of those that we were like,
yeah,
she's so good.
She has it all figured out.
Exactly. She knows where she's going. Doesn't matter. Why isn't she taking the test? Why isn't she doing the extracurricular? So great. Wow, what a great thing to know going through high school, where you're going to go, who you're going to, the team. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Coming up on Talk About It.
I'm in a classroom for 3 hours and one of the lights is flickering the whole time. They love to accommodate. They want me to be able to stay in class, but they're not aware that could be something that could be harmful. So having those conversations has been really, really helpful, and I've really had good reception.
So I wanted to take a second just to break out and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We're going to do that a couple of times in this episode. I want to talk about Thanksgiving and this Thanksgiving dinner table and how it is a teachable moment. You have your friends and family, all the ones you love, right around the table. All the ones that could be potentially close to your loved one or you if you should have a seizure, and they should all know what to do. I know you're not going to pull out a bulletin board or even hand out cards or anything, but at least discuss who knows what to do in case you see her or him or me, whatever, have a seizure. It's a moment of discussion. It'll get you talking, or maybe you mention everybody, hey, my favorite podcast is called Talk About It, and they talk about epilepsy. Oh, you guys know what to do in case you see me have a seizure or you see our daughter have a seizure or whatever. It's a teachable moment. It's a way to not talk about politics. It's a way to educate and to let those that you love know how much you really appreciate them knowing what to do. Take advantage of that. Be thankful for the ones that you have in your support group and educate them. And the first way to do that is to talk about it. Happy Thanksgiving.
I want to expand on your experience because this is kind of a more rare form of epilepsy. Your eyelids kind of twitch, and in that moment, you're losing consciousness a little bit, or you don't, like, it's kind of hazy?
So, yeah, like my eyelids will flutter like to the back of my head. I am still standing. I can, there was one time I was having seizures while I was running like our timed sprint test at school, and this was like kind of what you're explaining. Like I got from point A to point B, but I had like no recollection, but my body was still moving.
I do that in traffic. So it's not, that happens. Wow. Can you imagine you just ran a 6.360 and you're like, I did?
No, yeah, exactly.
That is fascinating. And how much did you know about epilepsy? I'm assuming you had no one in your family had seizures or epilepsy before you?
No one I had known ever in my life has had epilepsy. So that was kind of like a part of the, like, wanting to kind of share my story a bit when I got to Cal.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't know anyone else who kind of had this experience. So one of the first things I did was one of our former football coaches, his son had epilepsy.
We've had
So I
them.
reached out.
They've been guests on the
Oh.
on the podcast. And by the
Aristotle?
way, their son is. I mean, he's just
awesome.
he's so awesome. And when I see the videos, his mom sends me videos of him when he's struggling, when he's in the hospital and he's going through it. I mean, it is like. It's unbelievable. And their family is just incredible. And the Helmets for Helmets
Absolutely.
program, you need to know about Helmets for Helmets.
Well, it was really the boys that started it, that they came up with the idea. There was a local nonprofit in San Luis Obispo. They actually stepped in with the first helmet. And so the boys said, hey, we want to help them. And so they said, hey, Dad, can you call some people that we can get some stuff donated for their auction?
We called, so my dad played in the NFL for 16 years, so 13 years were for the Saints. We still do stuff with the Saints. And so one of our really good friends from that, Zach Streif, and so the boys called him and asked for a Drew Brees helmet for the auction.
Awesome.
And he got it immediately and sent it. And so then the boys, I think, got that kind of a bug and saw that they could help. And the boys wanted to be able to do a farther reach. And so that's when they decided to start their own foundation. That was something that they really wanted to do. And at this table right here, they just decided this is what we want to do.
All right. So you don't know anything about it. You've been diagnosed with it, and now you want to speak up about it. So how did you then, I mean, I know it's sports, but how did you find them at the Helmets for Helmets and his dad's a coach, right, at Cal.
Yeah. So actually, I think like my mom had sent me their page, their like Helmets for Helmets page, and was like, hey, like you should connect with this coach. And I was like, absolutely. Like I genuinely don't really know anyone who has epilepsy. And I know like there's so many different forms and like ways like what seizures look like.
Yeah.
And I know Bryson's is very different than mine, but like just being able to connect really with someone who, is also kind of struggling or like understands kind of the big question marks around what you have to face was huge for me. And like I did it for I'm a part of our like multimedia department at our school newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it for like an interview, but I got to sit and talk to them for a while, and that was awesome. And then kind of following that, I reached out to our like marketing department, and I was like, hey, this year I want to do like an epilepsy awareness night for one of our matches. So,
dude,
so we had set that up and kind of wanted to like honor Helmets for Helmets, obviously, because like what a great Cal connection. We're supporting Cal football and Cal like programs at our matches. So that was really awesome.
This is what we do. This is what we encourage people to do, is to talk about it. And especially in your situation, I really have to say, I'm just so impressed, because it's easy for you to go, your seizures don't present in the same way that like maybe others do. So it's easy for you to hide it, or to not have to talk about it, or what, so for you to take the initiative to do it is really, really commendable. And this is what I encourage people to do out there. You don't have to be a D1 athlete. You don't have to be an actor like me. You don't have to be, all you have to do is in your office, just talk to people about this. And by the way, Peyton, you're saying I didn't know no one around me. Yes, they do. Or at Cal, there are people in the volleyball department
Absolutely.
that have epilepsy. There's 3 million of patients in this country. So there's definitely, or a family member or something. I'm sure you've had people now coming up to you going, oh yeah, my cousin has it, or I saw somebody in elementary school fall and have a seizure. Like, we all hear those stories in our community.
Yeah.
But this is how our community grows. This is how, by talking about it. So I have a bunch of questions actually that were sent in for this interview by a guy named, it was either Al or AI. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce his name. No, but these are questions that people want to know. So let's do like kind of a rapid fire thing. Okay. In terms of your social life or dating, how do you navigate conversations about epilepsy with new people? When do you talk about it?
So I feel like all of my like close-knit community, I've told that like within, the first few weeks of getting to Cal, I've told them this is what my seizures look like. It's triggered by sunlight or lights, like bright flashing lights. Otherwise, if you see me have a seizure, I'm probably fine. I will be okay. Like, it's not going to be any like big issue, but there's certain ways that I can kind of work around it.
Did you say, in case I do have a bigger episode or something, here's what you do?
Yeah, like they all know at this point really like how to how to see it really and like recognize, okay, is there something that we can do? If not, if it's, I'm fine.
Great.
No worries. Like, it's not a big deal.
Love it.
But with social life, like my friends will bring like sunglasses if we go out or something, or like I'll bring a pair of sunglasses just in case. Like one of my best friends will always like hand me a pair of his sunglasses when they like see the lights are getting too bright.
That's
so like
so cool. That's so cool. I love it.
People in my corner.
That's really great. They've got your back. I mean, doesn't it feel good? It's like, I know people are so scared and they're like, I don't want people to think differently of me or not give me an opportunity. You know what? That's their problem, honestly. Yeah. And I'm sure you've come across that. That's, maybe a family, like a friend of yours growing up in high school and the parents were like, I don't really want to be alone with her. I mean, we have that with Jake. They're just not comfortable dealing, God forbid, if they witness a seizure.
I mean, I would say I haven't really met much resistance in like that way, just because I do have shorter seizures. So like I can kind of get away with like, if people don't know what it looks like, they would just think I'm rolling my eyes at them, which is not ideal, but it's better so than
funny.
Like
she's so stuck up. It's unbelievable. I thought we were hitting it off, and then she just like was ignoring me and rolling her eyes. I mean, but that's true. You're right? So yours doesn't present in such a way.
Yeah.
And probably doesn't scare people.
But one of the things that I've kind of like had to work with was like going to all of these different schools and competing in their gyms. They have their own set of like, pre-game like light shows or like marketing graphics that are not good for me.
Yeah.
So my athletic trainer and I have worked a lot with kind of like communicating with them, and like we'll test their graphics beforehand to see what's going on. And like a lot of them aren't really sure like what the line is, and like maybe aren't as like willing to change it.
Yeah. When The Incredibles came out, we found out about flashing lights in the movie theaters, and I contacted the studio and they put a sign out in front of the thing. So everybody's willing to help. They just need to be educated, and they need to have a conversation. You're not going to be mad about it. You're just going to be like, hey, what about flashing lights? Because I mean, or even, like you're at an airport, like even a store, I'll be in a store and I'll see a flickering light and I'll go up to the thing and I'll go, look, I don't know if it's going to affect people, but you should know that could cause a seizure. And
but you also mentioned fluorescent lights too, which
that's what I'm talking about.
Even like you can't see the pattern of the light hitting.
Oh, right.
In a standard fluorescent light, like you said, that also can be a trigger for you.
So yeah, and like I actually just had a conversation with my professor on Wednesday because I'm in a classroom for 3 hours and one of the lights is flickering the whole time. So, and like, once again, they're totally like, they love to accommodate. They want me to be able to stay in class, but they're not aware that like that could be something that could be harmful. So like having those conversations has been really, really like helpful. And like pretty much everyone that I've talked to or like worked with has been very willing to like do whatever they can to accommodate. So I've really had good reception to
that's good.
Kind of.
Most lighting in schools and in stores are so unhealthy.
Oh, I don't have epilepsy, and going into a CVS or a Walgreens,
the worst,
that
dude. It's the worst, especially when you're coming at night and you walk in and you're just like, I mean, you need to put on sunscreen to go shopping for sunscreen.
Coming up on Talk About It.
I'm a smart volleyball player. I can do a lot of great things. I've had performances that show that. If I'm like dipping into the iffy mental space, I try to work on my breathing and then get back into that, like, I'm a badass. Like,
it's great.
There's nothing that I can't do, and like I've proven that over the years. So like,
there's our line. There's our line for the opening of the show. Well, Thanksgiving is a great time for us to thank everyone for helping to make Talk About It what it is. We have 370,000 plus subscribers at talkaboutit.org. We have this incredible community, and you're all the reason why we get to do this and why this is working. Obviously, there was a big need when we started Talk About It. Caregivers and patients alike need to know they're not alone, and I think we're achieving that. I know that you guys absolutely let us feel that way. I want to thank everyone at Talk About It. Ken and I co-created Talk About It years ago with Phil, and it's grown into what it is. Ken, thank Thank you so much. Thank you to Jake. Thank you to Josh. Thank you to Pierce Joseph for everything he does. Thank you, Nick, our producer at Talk About It. Nick helps in so many ways, both on the podcast and in other ways, obviously with our music and with events and all of it. So thank you, Nick Marzak, Porter for cutting the videos, and everybody goes over and above. And that includes our sponsors. Jazz Pharmaceuticals has been with us for a while now. Everyone at Jazz, Patrick and Tim and Amanda, and especially Renee and Bruce, everyone, the whole team, everyone at Jazz, they care about the patients and the caregivers so much and supporting all the crazy ideas that we have. They support Talk About It. They support the Caregiver Series. If you haven't seen that, go to thecaregiverseries.com. They're just so loving and caring. I know it's a pharma company, but man, I really mean it. They're wonderful, wonderful folks. I just love everybody at Jazz. So thank you, Jazz. Thank you to everyone at Neurelis, Craig, Commander, Aaron. Everyone at Neurelis is just wonderful. We've gone a year now. We're going into our second year. Cannot thank you enough. Everything that these companies are doing, they're doing because they're supporting our community and they're supporting what we do here at Talk About It. So I cannot thank all of you enough. Thank you for letting Talk About It talk about it. Here's another question. College life often comes with party scene. We've kind of touched on this, but how do you balance staying healthy, avoiding triggers in a typical college experience?
I think like one of the biggest things for me is like if I get a good amount of sleep, I will feel better. So I try not to stay out past really what I should be staying out. Like I do enjoy a good night out and I have my fun. But I try to do things that like will help me, like either by wearing the sunglasses if there's, lights or stuff, or like by at least like making sure I get my 8 hours, whether it's from 2 to 10 or it's, some other type. But like I try to make sure that like sleep is number one with that.
Yeah, that's great. Well, all athletes, by the way, you're in the majority now. I mean, everybody talks about, Shohei Ohtani notoriously sleeps 14 hours a night. It's like if you want to
excessive,
you want to play like Shohei.
Yeah.
No, it's easy to sleep on $100 bills.
Yeah, 14 hours a day, 3 hours of gambling. What's the other?
Oh, here we go. No.
Not
That was
that.
his translator. Okay, here's another question. What kind of mental strategies or self-talk do you use with yourself? This is epilepsy or not. As an athlete, we all have this internal dialogue with ourselves. Is there anything that you do? I mean, I just saw Dodgers were talking about, they're like, I'm on the field and I'm just like, you got this, man. You got this. Go to your left, go to your left. Okay, you situate. Like they talk to each other. You guys on the court, I see you always come together. You always give it a rod. You come back or whatever. But before games or whatever, what do you do to kind of pump yourself up or get ready for games?
So we actually have a game tonight. So we're playing SMU.
Oh,
should be an exciting game.
That's a huge. Is that your rival? One of your rivals? Biggest rivals?
No, they're really good. Our rival is Stanford. We play them twice next week.
What position do you play?
I'm an outside hitter.
Oh wow.
But yeah, like I think one of the biggest things for me is like before games and during games, like I'm kind of just giving myself affirmations in my head. I am a good volleyball player. Like I'm a smart volleyball player. I can do a lot of great things. I've had performances that show that. And if I'm like dipping into the kind of like, iffy like mental space, I try to work on my breathing and then get back into that like I'm a badass. Like
it's great.
There's nothing that I can't do. And like I've proven that over the years. So like
there's our line. There's our line for the opening of the show. Yeah, I mean, it's so important. And, as an athlete and in life, you're constantly in competition. Yeah, you're on the team. I get it. You've been on this team. You're recruited since you're in blah, blah. Great. It's never not a competition, right? Because there's new girls coming in, a new position. They're going to move her around. Blah, blah. It's and you can't let that. It's funny because baseball's the same way. Football, everything. It's a team sport, but it's an individual sport. Like you have to just work on yourself, be positive with yourself, and things happen out of your control, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
Have you noticed diet or anything like that has helped alleviate? Are there trainings that you'll avoid? Have you
or
had
alcohol and sugar. Like, are there certain things? Because Jake doesn't drink alcohol because he's on medication, and then he stays away from carbs, bad carbs. He'll have salads and healthy carbs.
Yeah, see, I have heard that, but I haven't had anything like that really work for me. So
Are
I'm
you
not really
all
on
candy
any
bars all the time? Is that
right?
Yeah.
Exactly that. I mean, my healthy dose of chocolate a day.
Exactly. That's my diet. Yeah, Greg.
No, yeah, but I haven't really. I am a pescatarian, so that's my like normal like life choice though. Not necessarily.
Yeah, but
related
that's
to
healthy. I
epilepsy.
mean, that's a healthy life choice. I mean, that's a pretty. I don't like to say a stupid question, Nick, but she's an athlete. She's a D1 athlete. She's clearly. I mean, I just had this conversation with Sam, because he goes to the the food whatever area, and he has his card to use, and he's like, some days he goes in there, it's just the worst, and it's not the worst. It might taste the best, it might be really, but it's just not healthy. It's like, they're athletes. Feed them the healthy stuff if you want them to, and it's all about the brain. Right. It's really, anyway. All right, here's a question. When you look ahead, do you see yourself using your platform to continue as an athlete or just in life to raise awareness for epilepsy and inspire others who are in similar situation?
Absolutely. I think I've had like a wonderful ability now because I do have a platform and like people who want to help spread my story. And like every time that I have like worked with Cal Athletics to get a video out or spread awareness, I've had many people like reach out back to me and saying like they have epilepsy and like they're so happy that like they now have someone to talk to about it because they also didn't know anyone else. So like that to me has been like so like helpful for me because like also like it's nice to have other people who are going through similar things.
You're hitting the nail on the head. This is what I say all the time. People are like, thank you for what you do and for the podcast and stuff. And I'm like, it's so selfish what I do because I get so much out of it. Honestly, talking to you,
is helpful,
like I'm going to go back and say, Jake, oh my God, to know you're not alone is the most powerful thing that you can possibly happen. All right, I just want to wrap up with this, if you don't mind, to the girl who's out there right now who is really good at softball, at volleyball, at whatever she's doing, academically or whatever, and has epilepsy and knows that there's a chance she might have a seizure. She's doing all the right things. Just talk to her. What do you say to that person who's scared about taking that next step in college?
My biggest message is to lean on your support system. The people around you want your success and they want you to be in the best position possible for that success. Getting to lean on and rely on the people around you to like help out a bit. Like it doesn't have to be in an individual battle. There's a lot that can go on that can trigger things, but kind of removing some of the burden or the stress of that and kind of leaning on your friends, family, coaches, professors, whoever it is to kind of help out in the situation. Like people are more willing and happy to help than maybe you think they are. So,
and what's the first step in doing that?
I think the first step is education.
And
I think
how do you do that?
Talking about it.
Yeah! Dude, that message right there is everything.
I'm going to supersede you. That's our opener.
Yeah, that's our opener. I mean, exactly what you just said. And it goes to it's okay to not be okay. But I don't even think it's that because you are okay. Everybody's okay. Everybody's got something. But don't feel like you have to, take on this burden yourself. You said it better than I just did. But I cannot thank you enough for being on the show. You're just, again, so inspiring. I learned a lot from this. This is really great. And anybody else that that's in our community that inspires you, we didn't even get to that question, but send them our way. I just cannot thank you enough for being on Talk About It.
Of course.
And best of luck tonight and tomorrow.
Thank you. I wanted to say too, literally as I got your DM, I was watching Star Wars Force Awakens. And I was like, I immediately went and looked up. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
I was like immediately like, wait, what the heck? Like that's a crazy coincidence.
Exactly. Yeah. No, remember I had the big beard. I'm like, Snapwexley.
It's awesome.
There's our opener. Yeah. Praising me.
Yeah, of course.
That's what we got to do. Thank you so much,
awesome.
Peyton.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Talk About It with Greg Grunberg. Sponsored by Neurelis and by Jazz Pharmaceuticals. Thank you to our special guests for joining us, and thank you J.J. Abrams for the theme music that you're hearing right now. Talk About It is produced by Ken Lowenberg, Greg Grunberg and Nick Marzok. Editing, directing and incidental music by Nick Marzok. Go to talkaboutitonvideo.com to watch these episodes, and as always, don't forget to talk about it. This podcast is a production of the Talk About It Company and Motel Podcasts.